Hello, my friends. This is Rabbi Aharon Dobinsky coming to you today from the holy city of Yerushalayim, Jerusalem, Israel. A beautiful day in Jerusalem today. You should see it. I'm going to talk to you about something today that you need to know about because it will affect your life in every facet, every aspect. Do you ever wonder why sometimes you're missing something in life? Something is missing from your life. Something you should consider. Something we should all consider, if this is the case, is whatever we are missing, whatever we are lacking, perhaps it's because we're not giving it. If we're not giving it, we're not getting it back. You have to live it to give it, okay? So maybe we're not doing what we need to be doing in certain areas. Now, one of these areas, and it's very prolific, a lot of us are guilty of this, is in the area of appreciation. The area of gratitude. And we have some great examples in Torah this week about that. Last week we heard about all the different gifts that all the princes of all the tribes brought for the new Mishkan. And they were all very similar, but they were all very, very nice gifts. And Aaron HaKohen was not part of this. The Levi tribe did not give a gift. And I believe Hashem looked down and saw the fact that he was not happy about this because he wanted to honor Hashem as well. He wanted also to be a part of this. But he didn't get to be a part of it. So Hashem said, I've got something better for you. It's not how he said it, but basically this is the idea. I have something, it's not for a day, it's for always. And it's yours and yours only. It's not going to be for anybody else. You are going to light the menorah, and here's how you're going to do it. How you're going to light it. How you're going to set up the menorah in the Mishkan so that I approve of the way it's done. Wow, that is really big stuff. You had to know that Aaron HaKohen was extremely pleased with this because it gave him an opportunity to do something that nobody else was allowed to do. Only he could do it. What kind of a gift is this? And this is the Kadosh Baruch Hu showing his appreciation for all that Aaron did and his sons, all that they gave, all that they showed Hashem they were willing to do for him. This was a payback. This was gratitude. This was appreciation at its finest. Now remember, we are made B'Tselem Elokim. We are made in the image of God. So, if Hashem has this as one of his character traits, to show appreciation, to show gratitude, even though he doesn't owe anything to anybody, we owe him more than we can ever repay in a lifetime. But still, he shows us the importance of appreciation, how we have to show it, how we have to give it. And because of it, what is the result? We have someone so happy he doesn't know what to do with himself because it's an honor bestowed upon him that no one else has. Amazing, isn't it? Now, let's look at the other side of this. If we're supposed to be appreciative, if we're supposed to show gratitude, as I said we do, and if Hashem himself even shows gratitude to us for the things that we do when he doesn't have to do it at all. As I said, in lifetimes, we could never repay all that we owe him. I personally can tell you that as a fact in my own life and in the lives of many, many people I know, and I guarantee you it probably spills over onto the general populace as well. Anyway, so what happens this week at the end of Baalal Sakha? We got gratitude in the beginning. Here's gratitude. And look at the end. Look at the end. Miriam and Aaron are talking about Moshe. I would have to say it was probably mostly Miriam because she was the one who was struck with saras. She was the one who was struck with what we would today call leprosy. And she had to go away from the camp for 7 days. It's almost like Hashem said, go to your room for 7 days. Get out of here. You can't be among these people because of this. What were they talking about? It was so awful. Well, she was saying, that perhaps Moshe, because of all the time he was providing to the Jewish people, perhaps he wasn't giving enough time to his wife. Maybe she wasn't getting the attention she so rightly deserved. And maybe she was right. Maybe she was right. And here's a big lesson that we have to watch very carefully in Lashon Hara. Lashon Hara, by the way, is usually the cause of a person getting saras. Now, we don't see this much anymore, but that was what it was back then. It's not really leprosy. Very different, big difference that we should explain. Leprosy, you go to your doctor, and he treats it with ointments and medicines, etc. Saras, you go to the Kohen. You don't go to the doctor. Doctor can't treat this. It is a spiritual ailment. It is not a physical ailment, although it does manifest physically. So she gets this for saying something that you and I might say, "This, what's so wrong with that?" She's concerned about her brother. The fact that, his wife is maybe not getting the attention she should be getting from him. Is this a horrible thing to say? Well, not by the way you or I or most of us would judge it. Of course not. It's a nice thing, actually, when you think about it. But remember, we've talked about this before, that no matter what we say, we have to be very careful, because there's always a way of looking at it that it means it's not meant in a person's best interest that we're speaking about. Now, how do we know that's the case here? Well, we know by the case that Hashem gave her the punishment for Lashon Hara. Again, what she did doesn't seem wrong to you or me, but to her it was terrible, because Hashem punished her, kicked her out of the camp for 7 days while she goes to heal. Almost as if he said, "I want you to get out of here and go think about what you just did. Think about it. What did you do?" So it's like the example I've used before of a person who comes to town, he's hungry, and he says, "Do you know where I could get a bite to eat?" to a stranger. And the stranger says, "Oh yes, up on the hill, go to the Goldsteins. They've always got a pot on the stove." Now, what he meant to say was, this is a good thing, and they have a pot there exactly for this purpose, for strangers like you who have nothing to eat and who need something to eat. That's what he meant. But what could the person who he told it to be thinking? He could be thinking, "Boy, I bet these Goldsteins probably weigh 400 or 500 pounds each." That's why you have to be so very careful. We all have to be so very careful with the words we choose. Hashem says to us that we are only given so many words we're allowed to speak in our lifetime. Only so many. And when they're gone, we have to go. So it behooves us to watch each and every word that comes out of our mouth, to make sure that what we're speaking are words of Torah, words of encouragement, words of gratitude, words of appreciation, words of apology. Whatever is important to say that moves us closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because after all, at the end of the day, that is our major purpose to being on this earth, to learn how to live a joyous and fulfilling life, a life of love that brings us closer to our Creator. That's the purpose. That's what we're here for. We've had a couple of deaths in our circle of friends over the last couple of weeks, and someone said to me, "What's the purpose of living? Why do we live if we're just going to die?" And I said, "It's simple. The purpose of living is to live a joyous, loving, and fulfilling life that brings us closer to Hashem, to take care of the tikkunim that we might have from a previous existence. These are the things that will bring us closer to our Creator. That's why we're here." When we see someone move on, again, it's always difficult for those who are living, because we have to deal with a loss. Those who leave us go to a life, I assure you, which is far better than what we do, particularly if there's tzaddikim like the people that we knew who were left this week. So we have to remember that. And we have to live, sometimes, as a memorial to them. Say that this person had a great effect on me. Look at the person they made me into. Because I hung around them, I have become a better person. I become loving. I become joyful. I become fulfilled. I've become an appreciative person. A person with gratitude in my life, who doesn't take anything for granted. We take things for granted. We get up in the morning, we say Modeh Ani, but sometimes it's just a few words out of our mouth. Let's think about what we say. Let's think about how important it is. We are given gifts from the moment we wake up. Waking up being the first one, opening our eyes being another one, the third one, getting our feet around to the bed so we can stand up, and the list goes on. You could say thank you for an hour just about things in your own body, forgetting about what you say thank you for in your family, the people around you, and a situation of your life. So remember, my friends, this is what we want to do. We want to live a life of gratitude. We want to live a life of appreciation. We want to thank Hashem each and every second of each and every day for all that He gives us, and all of the people that He's given us to share our lives with. We want to thank them for being who they are. If we do this, we will indeed live a joyous, loving, and fulfilling life that brings us closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Have a good Shabbos, my friends. Be well. God bless you all, and we'll see you next week. Bezrat Hashem. All the best.